Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Just been playing the TT a lot and running some duos and playing with friends and chilling. But the first fight, I'm down to GV. My Titan died, and I had hopped on it to take it back up to Salt Flats. But I get up to Upper Lake and end up fighting I guess it would have been two Stegos, and then I also killed a Spinal that laid down, but the fog came in and I was able to kill the Spinal out of nowhere. He was meatballed, so I'm guessing he was fighting the Stegos, and I just caught him sleeping. But I run up on him, I hear him sleeping, and I see him lay down, and I take the opportunity to take him out. But hit that like button, subscribe, it helped me out a ton. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, this should be a really good video. I hope y'all enjoy. But here we go. Yeah, poor Spino. He didn't see it coming, and I have Skydiver on my Titan, so I'm just able to run over rocks and just come out of nowhere. And with that fog, he didn't see me coming or really pay attention, and there wasn't enough time there for him to get up. So he goes down pretty quickly, and then I walk around the bank here and bump into the two Stegos, who I end up fighting. And it gets pretty funny because before the fight even, I guess, really got into a really good fight, like there wasn't enough time for me to really have a good fight with these guys, because out of nowhere, two alpha critters, essentially, I think they just about chiseled all their health away is what happened. One came in, took the one Stego out essentially, and then another critter came out of nowhere and then just about killed the other Stego, so I ended up killing both of them pretty easy, just because of two alpha critters somehow spawned by each other. They're like literally back to back, so Alderon definitely needs to fix the critters, because they're actually like broken, the alpha critters. They're actually crazy OP. But these two Stegos see me, and eventually they aggro, so I was like, okay. So I eventually get both of them. They tried to be nice to me, but I wanted to fight, so I hit one and it was on. Well, that Stego decided it was better to jump off the cliff than die to a Titan, so that was pretty funny. But yeah, essentially both those alpha critters spawned back to back on both the Stegos, so yeah, it was bad luck on their part. Just having two alpha critters come out of nowhere like that. Which is, I don't know, the chances of that actually happen. And then my buddy was also on a Titan, so we end up getting in some more trouble in the next clip. in, I believe, yeah, it was Salt Flats. We bump into two Rex, or a TT and a Rex. The Addo was with us. It's one of our buddies, and then we have a Das. They had a baby Picno. But we start fighting them, and it gets pretty hectic, but we were able to kill all of them. But enjoy. So we ended up killing the Rex and the TT and the Patchy. And then this Packy was nodding his head at me for killing the Packy. It was like nodding it back. And then this cheeky little Picno got a headbutt in and a charge and almost killed me. So I did my call. But that was a really good fight. And then we essentially heal up eventually, and we finished that fight. That was a good fight though. But that Patchy was mad because I killed his buddy because it was attacking us. I'm like, I wasn't gonna let that happen. But that heavy bite hit that Patchy in the body and just instantly folded it. So that was a perfect. He wasn't paying attention to me, but that worked out good. And then this ends up being a clip in Big Quill. This was a different day when we were on two Bertas and a Rex and a TT. We were actually going to go 1v1. Me and the Rex were, because he wanted to fight, not to the death, just to like a bar in Salt Flats, just see how good we were, and just to practice. But we instead got jumped by these guys. The Rex got jumped, so we came over to help. And then eventually these guys bring some crazy numbers. But we fight these guys off and kill two of them, essentially. But then they brought, I think it was two Annos, two Inkies, and then a Spino to kill us. And then they also brought a Rex with the Spino. So brought literally double the numbers, and then they had the Sarahs on top of that. But we eventually killed two of the Sarahs. But this was a crazy fight. We fight this Discord group for a while, and then eventually come back and get our lick back on them. So at this point in the fight was over. We killed two of them. They still kind of poke around, but there's not much they could do with just two of them. The Bertas backed up to the bridge and kind of hid so they couldn't get killed because one was like super low there. Essentially, one of them was meatball, and then we just got a couple of rampies watching. But yeah, the Rex was able to clamp one and kill it, and then I chased the other one down and got him. And then I see Big Quill is red. I'm like, oh boy, what do we got coming? And then I think it's like a minute or something later, I see Spino, 2 Inkies, and a Rex coming in. I'm like, oh boy. And the Birdo was like, oh, I'm stuck. And eventually I tried to get him out and couldn't, and I almost fall off the bridge too. But the reason why we had the two Birdos is because we were playing Herbs, and then I switched to fight the Rex just to practice fight him. And then I also tried to beat one of the Birdos on my Dasp, and that Birda kicked my butt. They're actually one of the broken mid tiers right now, but I tried to get this bird off the bridge, and he was pretty stuck. And eventually, after we go fight these guys, he was able to get to the bank, but he had to swim. But these guys essentially, next fight coming up, the Spino, the Yankees, and the Rex. Essentially, we killed the Spino and we killed the Rex, and then the Yankees chased us all the way through sand caverns, which then we were jumped by. I think it was the same. It was the same Spino, and then we were jumped by in Green Hills. We were going because we had another Titan come help us with the Rex and the Spino originally, but we don't know where he went. There was some issues with comms, but we went to Green Hill. Me and the Rex somehow survived all the way to Green Hills and got jumped by more of the group they had. It was like three more. There was 3 TTs. There was 1 or 2 conks and a DAS, maybe, I can't remember, but there was a lot that jumped us, and it was crazy numbers. And then here comes our other TT in, and then here comes the Yankees. They literally brought 2 Yankees for practically 2 Birdas and a Rex and a TT. So at that point, they already had 4 practically, well, 2 Apexes, and then the Anos, I guess, are Apexes too. So 4 Apexes versus 3, and then 2 Birdas. And the Birdas were too low to help out, so essentially 3v4 at that point. But I told my guys, I'm like, hey, bring these guys back. We got to get them away from the water, especially the Spino. And of course, the Rex and the Spino pop their calls way too early, so we bring them back, let them use their calls. They try to rush us, and we were practically forced to fight because we bumped into this wall and the Rex came in. So we just started fighting him when we kind of had the time. We fight him before the Spino came up, but I get a heavy bite, get a couple bites on him, and then I tell the Rex to tank him because he was low enough. But then we go for the Spino, but another great clip. So we drop the Rex and the Spino, and he's able to get his Ravenous off. So we were able to essentially start moving once he got his Ravenous, and we were just about. He was out of stam, I was out of stam. The other T2 was meat belt too, so it was a very bad scenario. I almost got bum broke by this Anno here, but we were able to get the heck out of dodge essentially. And then they know we're like low on stam, so they just followed us. Luckily, I was gaining more than the Rex on stamina, and he had a little bit, so he was able to run. But these guys were pretty mad that they lost 2, I guess, Apexes to 3 of us. Like, I'm starting to see a lot of these Discord groups. For I've been playing a few years now, but starting to see like how these Discord groups work is they're not really like good at the game. They'll just have like straight crazy numbers, and then jump you with them, and it's like at that point it's not really skill. It's just them having crazy numbers and then relying on numbers to kill you. And this was 100% like the scenario in this situation because they lost literally a 4v3 with Inkies. Like I don't know what they were doing, but the Inkies really did help out a ton. I just keep him back essentially from the Rex. I was trying to protect him. I just tried to keep him back, and then I hear a Spino coming, and somehow I don't even know how the Spino actually got this like waystone. I guess a spawn, but this Spino comes out of nowhere. He comes out of sand caverns, so he got like a crazy spawn. Like I don't even know how he got it like right in sand caverns. Like the waystone he got was crazy, or the spawn point, I guess. But here comes the same exact Spino. I'm straight out of sand caverns. So I don't even know where he got spawned at. If I'd got to guess, maybe it was Burned Forest is where he got spawned at, which on his part was really lucky. And then they continue to chase us over to Green Hills, and they can't catch us. Luckily, there was a cliff here, which me and the Rex almost die. He goes down the wrong path and almost dies, and the Rex is actually like horrible when you're trying to get off like cliffs and stuff, but he almost just about kills himself. I'm still fine. The Inkies, I'm like, oh, we're good. The Inkies aren't gonna come on. And then the Inkies jump right off the cliff. Same with the Spoon, like they take some damage, but they were able just to come right off the cliff, and I'm like, well, that didn't work out. And then we just kept going, trying to make distance, and then we look up to the right here in Green Hills, and little did we know was the rest of their Discord group, and we were both low, so it was like one TT could have handled us, but they decided to bring multiple Apexes for us, which is kind of crazy for a duo who was super low, and they knew we were low. And there's one TT. Me and this other Rex saw this TT, we were like, oh, hopefully he's not with these guys, because we did like a heart call to him essentially, and we did a call and he was like, chill. We're like, oh, we're chilling. So we kept moving, and we get up here on the hill, we look back, we're like, oh, the Spoon's resting, like we should get up here and get some stam. Like that's probably the smart move. So we get up here a little farther, we both lay down, and we're like, oh, we're chilling, okay. Like we actually just did that, we clutched that. We got away from these guys essentially, and then we found out why they're crouching, but we lay down, we get stam. I can't believe this Titan didn't come for us when we were getting stam here, because that's what I would have done if I was at TT, but little did we know he had two more TTs backing him up over the ridgeline, because I guess he can't fight two Apexes that are already low. But he comes up, he acts like he's friendly. That's the crazy part, actually. He acts like he's friendly, like faked the shit out of the friendliness, like, which is crazy. And then we essentially moving. We get up into the bushes here, and we start moving. And out of nowhere, a Titan comes out and starts biting me, and there was not much I could do. Even the Rex was done. I'm like, oh, they're back there sitting. We're chilling. And then I get up here and essentially just get attacked by like everything. And the one Titan that was friendly came out of nowhere and started attacking us too. But this was their Discord group. But eventually later in the video, we do come back and we do get I guess we exact our revenge on this Discord group. Me and the other guy, the Rex, except he brings back a Titan, which we go back to Salt Flats because that's where they were at, and we kill a couple of their Apexes. And I think they kill us once I know once or twice they kill us. I think they kill the other guy a couple times, my buddy. They kill a few times, I think once or twice, but overall able to kill more of them than they killed of us with a duo, which is crazy because they had double the numbers most of the time. But we were up here chilling, watching them, and then we start running. We're thinking of taking the Spino because we were decent like health. Me and the Rex were. He was about half. I was like, oh, I'm full. I was like ready to pop my call and everything. Because that other Spino, I mean that other Titan, just left. We thought, but essentially, going with hit bay, I'm like, okay, that was bad. Use my tail, and then this TT, the one that was literally friendly, comes out of nowhere, starts biting me, and then my Rex buddy's like, oh shoot, this isn't good. So I run up to my Rex buddy, eat him off me, and then we see a conch. I go, fine. This guy stays on me. Essentially, it's just draining my stand. He tries to get a bum break. I go in for a heavy bite, which hits it with the tail. And then here comes another TT. Like, actually, like, why do you need this many apexes? So by that time, it's 2 Titans. And I'm like, oh, this is crazy. So, yeah, there's the conch. There's the Yankee. Yeah, so there's chits on our health. We're just trying to get away, but we were dead. There was too many. There was nothing. We were out of stam. We didn't have like any health, so we're done. We're about dead, essentially. Like, they just had crazy numbers. And it wasn't like really fair at all, but that's what the Discords on Path of Titan be doing. They just be rolling with some crazy numbers. Essentially, the third TT comes in. I don't know if it shows it. There's one, and then I believe 2 more come over. Yeah, there's the other 2 coming in. But 3 TTs for 2 apexes is a little wild. Plus a Spino and 2 Yankees on top of that. But it ended up killing both of us here, and the Rex died too. But yeah, that was crazy. Like what they brought for us. That kind of annoys me. I hope they fix something about that, for sure. But this is another clip. This is when me and him just died. He switched to his Titan. I was on my Titan because I was questing it back up. But that Thal runs into me out of nowhere and kills itself. And just slingshots across the, I guess it would have been Impact Crater 4. Which me and my buddy thought was pretty funny. We were like, what the heck's the bird doing? Thals are also broken right now. If they catch you laying, you're actually dead. But essentially, after that, we make our way all the way back down to Salt Flats. After we went through GP, there was a bunch of stuff there like usual, but we were like, yeah, we attack one thing here. We're going to have like 10 things on us, so we avoid attacking anything in GP. So we just march on through, and everybody left us alone, which was good. But we ended up going back in Salt Flats. We end up seeing there's a Struthy. There was 2 Ankies, 2 same Ankies here, and then there was a male EO that we were able to work. Which, honestly, EOs are pretty easy to work on Titan if you do it right. You just go in with your heavy bite, and you just go in with your heavy bite and hit them, run out, use your tail, and just repeat the cycle. And you just, if you're good enough to do it, you can just cycle. And those heavy bites do crazy amount of damage. I just run fresh blood. And then there was this Rex too that we didn't trust, that we tried to kill, but he was able to get away. Which is more than likely one of their group members here in Salt Flats just questing on his Rex. But we see the EO, so we both agree to go for the EO. At this point, that was one of the dangerous, that's the dangerous thing right now, so we both agreed on going for the EO. So we do our calls, and we worked this boy, and he really wasn't that good of an EO. He got worked by 2 TTs, so hope y'all enjoy it. But yeah, just us getting a little bit of I guess karma on this Discord group that thought it was okay jumping us with double the numbers or triple the numbers or whatever you want to call it, just crazy numbers. So yeah, it's a little karma. I don't know what their names are. I think I recorded all of it, but I didn't look at any names. But They know who they are. But another good video. This should be a really good video. But the Yankees immediately go into bunker, but we just keep working the EO with our tails and just dodging those bone breaks. So essentially dropped the EO. The Yankees were bodyguarding the EO, essentially, like not letting the seat from it, which I didn't really care about, honestly. We were just gonna get our stamina, and then they put some stuff in global saying like, "Why are you running TTs?" And I'm like, these guys are actually like so salty and desperate. But they didn't have the numbers like they did earlier. Eventually, they do bring a Rex, which we drag into Hoodoo and kill. I think it was like, I don't think it was fully a dog, I think it's sub though. But we eventually kill that, but I talk a little smack in Global, because they said some stuff in Global, and we're like, yeah, we're not gonna let that slide. My buddy says, remember us, and they, they remembered, but essentially they put some stuff in Global, like, why are you running TT? And we're like, why wouldn't we, like, you're Anos. But it's a pretty funny interaction. But they're salty, but they end up bringing a Rex. Me and my buddy get Stam, and we start moving. Yeah, these guys were characters for sure. These are definitely players who rely on numbers. I used to play like that too, but I've started my own Discord. I don't depend on numbers. I depend on like people like knowing how to use like their dinos and stuff and know how to fight. If they do get like in a 2v2 or something, like they end up usually being able to win it. Yeah, there's the Rex that logs in, or I guess renders in, and we're like, okay, let's go up to the water here. Let's go up to the Hoodoo at the pond here and bring him out. And this Rex was aggro, of course, with him. Yankees, I guess the Yankees were hoping the Rex could get a bone break, and then they just do all the raw damage essentially. But luckily, I mean, this dude had a strat of just heavy bite this Rex and kill it, get it out of the way. But yeah, these people are I guess mixed packers are interesting. They always bring crazy numbers, but I kind of wait here behind the thing waiting for this Rex because he's full sprinting at us. I do my call beforehand. Just waiting for this Rex. You see him coming. And he does his call. I don't think he was a doll. I think he's like probably halfway through sub or mid sub, but I missed my stuff there, and then I think he gets a bone break. And I was like, pull him out of that little trail there because it was like too narrow. The Yankees got a bone break on us. We would have been done. But here's I don't know. Here's another, I guess, Discord. Same Discord, just bringing more stuff that we could kill. So another video of this Discord. I don't know who they are, but I guess they kind of expose themselves by talking crap in global. So, but. Yeah, sit back. This should be another good one. So we dropped the Rex there. Essentially that Thal, meatball, that Rex, we saw it churred. My buddy's like, that Rex is churred. So we went back and killed the Rex. The Inkies weren't very happy about it. And then I had the bright idea, since he was essentially at a stand. It probably would have been fine if we just kept moving, but I had the bright idea to
The rock you can get on it. You do. And I had the bright idea to.
get on top of it. So I'm like, well, get a whole stam and then follow me. So I get stam and we essentially go onto this rock, and it does not go our way. They are able to hit their AoE, their big AoE slam on us, which I almost get stuck here. Also, I'm like struggling, but he gets broke before he can get to it. But it's down here. I've used this before to get away from like multiple apexes and stuff before, but you just tail flick him out this, and sometimes it will kill him. But I'm able to get up there. I'm like, oh, I'm safe from the Inkies. But he misses it because he gets bone broken, almost dies. So he's low as it was. We would have been fine if we just kept walking and just used our tails. But I felt more comfortable going up here, and I thought I'd be safe. But he runs back up. I told him to beat the Inky up here, and he did. But then, essentially, the Inkies had freaking... The AoEs were able to hit us on a rock that was even like close to like their AoE slime, which made no sense. I don't know. It was like hitting us way over here, and then they were practically hitting like the air, but somehow knocked him off, killed him, and then I was able to run out though, luckily. And then I was gone. I'm like, I'm fighting that with two Inkies. There's nothing I could do at that point. So I run out. I'm gone. I'm like, I'm not fighting that. Honestly, it's not worth my time. Inkies would have killed me too, so I was like, yeah, I'm done. But then we essentially, I was able to get away from those guys. Like I showed in the previous clip, I lost them. I had full stamina, so I was able to fully sprint away. And then the Yankees were still like actually looking for me in Hoodoo. They actually were so salty because they lost two apexes essentially right there, and then they end up losing a third apex here. My buddy hears something. I heard it too, but I didn't know where it was. I knew it was off to my right, but I didn't see it go by. But it was a eel and a lamb going towards Waystone. But we were able to sneak essentially up into Hoodoo and get this ink. I guess it would have been an EO, and the lamb got away, but we did get the EO, so that was worth it. But that was definitely one of the, I guess one of their teammates that was waystoning the other EO back. But we were able to kill this guy pretty quick, pretty efficiently. We needed food. I was half food, so I was like, I need food anyways, so let's get this guy. But we pop over the hill. We had both skydivers, so we were able to jump off essentially jump down the rock cliff here and just murder this EO. And the lamb didn't want any chunk of us, so he just essentially ran right afterwards. But I would say we definitely got our... I definitely said we were like got our lick back on these guys for sure, because by the time we got done, sure they killed us a few times, but we definitely killed more of their apex stuff than they killed of us. And we were just a duo, and they had double the numbers. We see this EO though. We are like, get him. I'm like, get him. And there's the lamb, but we go for this EO and just absolutely destroyed. But the EO goes down right there. We're like, oh, food. So awesome. They're definitely doing something with the carcasses right now because you can't get as much food off them as you could before with like the EO bodies and like I guess it goes for like all bodies, but yeah, they're definitely doing with something like how much food you get from all the dinos in the game once they're dead. But I essentially see this EO. We're drinking water in Hoodoo, and this was a different server. And I tell my buddy to. It was two of us. I'm like, let me just 1v1 this guy. So that's what I do, and I end up beating this EO pretty easy. He was a head slam build, so it's a really good fight though. But I saw it. I was like, just let me 1v1 him essentially because I thought it was fair. I didn't want to absolutely murder this dude with 2 people, and I didn't see it fit. I was like, 1v1 sounds pretty even, you know, TT versus a EO. But the last video of the clip. Hope y'all enjoy. Subscribe, like. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I appreciate y'all. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if there's I guess certain content you want to see, like certain dinos. I guess I've been playing a lot of Titan, Hypno, and Conk. But yeah, I've been enjoying the TT a lot, but I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Rambeat out. Y'all have a good one. See you next time on the channel. I hope y'all enjoyed.